Hello, my name is Kat Aletto and I work with DigiZook. We help clients realize their goals through video production and live stream events. So we came on here today as an opportunity to talk to folks about the differences between Zoom, webinars, and advanced live streaming. These are all a bunch of terms that sound sort of the same. We know they all relate to a virtual experience, but really have nuanced differences and serve entirely different purposes at various times. So if you're confused about what type of virtual experience you want to have with your remote team or your online audience, know that in that confusion, you're in good company. Our production niche at DigiZook really is this exact component, and we really are educating and helping all of our clients. Every conversation that we've been having for the past 5 or 6 months are all about what do the terms mean, what is the process, how do we deliver our message. So we are learning and growing with our clients as we bring folks into the fold in the virtual world. So we want to kind of open up an opportunity for people to learn a little bit here and there, but also to feel and get to know us, and feel free to call us and talk about what your virtual needs are. So here I am popping in today to give a short but sweet explanation of a couple of the differences between online meetings, webinars, and live stream events. All virtual events, we think, kind of fall into a basic one of two categories. Again, this is super simplified and a lot more goes into it, but just for the sake of getting us on the same page, we're going to break it down into two factors of consideration. So something we're calling one-to-one, bit of a misnomer, but at least it gets to the point. So a one-on-one virtual event is typically referred to a video conference or an online Zoom meeting, let's say. And in this case, there's software that's very accessible on your desktop and designed to be run effectively by one person, often the leader of the event. And in this small group, it could be one-to-one, people talking to one another, or an opportunity for a small group to get together. And while there is the leader who's organizing and running each meeting, each one participant has the opportunity to have a voice and input into the discussion. So again, we're talking Zoom, Google Hangouts, Microsoft's Teams, Skype for Business, that sort of thing. You know, which platform of those you may choose depends on how many participants you want to join and what kind of access you have on your computer. Much like choosing a conference space. So say you go to a hotel for your meeting, or you're choosing in your office building what space you're going to have your group gather. Is it going to be the boardroom with 12 chairs? Is it going to be the ballroom with 60 or 75 chairs? You're creating the room and the space by choosing Zoom, Google Hangouts, Microsoft Teams, and so forth. And these are meant to be simple applications. So this is an opportunity for someone to be able to talk directly to the group and the group to respond back, and to be run by one person. So at a minimum, right? And then it could be, not the greatest opportunity for a company like us to come in and help, because you're totally capable of running this. And usually, especially if the group is small, it runs really well. But once we start to think about what we're putting in the category of one to many, we're shifting to either more presenters from various locations, a larger audience that's watching the feed. So this is where our voices have grown from one voice to many voices. And so once we start to level up in this phase, we go from, say, video conferencing to something like a webinar, which can have thousands of participants. Or if it's something more interactive with multi-cameras and exceptional audio and music, could be various types of visual presentations, and an audience that creates an on-demand excitement, we're talking about live streaming. So once we shift from one-to-one to one-to-many, we begin to go into webinars. And then above that would be an advanced live stream, which is kind of where our favorite little spot is, because a lot can be done for groups when we are engaging on this level. So a little bit more about the variation is, we're kind of stepping beyond just the chat function. We're working with concerts and presentations and large product launches that could have quite specific or technical information that you're trying to share. And in a level of professionalism in the production that doesn't allow for very much room for technical difficulties and just a higher level of stream. And what we're seeing and what we know as we all sit in front of our browsers for hours and hours per day is viewers don't have very much patience or attention span in general, but certainly when it comes to poor quality, technical difficulties, latency, and anything that's not perfectly smooth. So you'll quickly lose your audience if these elements have not been thought out. And so that's where really the production company comes in to take over on that. We are able to offer you guys the ability for professional lighting, better audio, third-party streaming secure platforms that reduce any sort of delay, and really great bandwidth, things like that. So again, I'll kind of one-to-one is the meeting that you have that you love. It's your weekly meeting or it's your daily communications with your colleagues and clients. And then beyond that, it's one-to-many. There's more voices in the room. There's more information that needs to be shared on a higher level. That's either a webinar, if it's one direction, or advanced live streaming, which is DigiZook's premier kind of service where we really can get creative and have some fun and allow you to focus on what you're really good at and the message you're trying to deliver. And we get to be really good behind the scenes supporting you on that. All right, stay tuned for the next one. Talk to you later.